We begin our season of creation this morning by hearing an abbreviated version of our very familiar story of creation from the Old Testament book of Genesis. Although most people today no longer see this version of how the universe was created as scientifically accurate, it still, 3,000 years later, continues to be the way that most human beings understand their place in the world. Despite considerable and mounting evidence to the contrary, our species is not the pinnacle of creation, but only a small strand in the ongoing evolution of the entire cosmos. This old story can no longer justify our attitudes and behaviors. It no longer fits our 21st century reality. This old story actually has God bless us for subduing this planet that is our home. So hear this story now, paying attention to the central message to us as human beings, written, of course, by a member of our own species. Now reading selected verses from Genesis 1. In the beginning, when God created the heavens and the earth was a formless void, and darkness covered the face of the deep, while a wind of God swept over the waters. Then God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. Then God said, "Let there be a dome in the midst of the waters." And so the waters were separated. Then God said, "Let the waters under the sky be gathered together in one place, and let the dry land appear." The dry land was called earth, and the waters were called the seas. And God said, "Let the earth put forth vegetation." And it was so. And God said, "Let there be lights in the dome of the sky to separate the day from the night. And let them be signs for the seasons and the days and the years, and to give light upon the earth." And God said, "Let the waters bring forth swarms of living creatures, and let the birds fly above the earth." And God said, "Let the earth bring forth living creatures of every kind." Then God said, "Let us make humankind in our image, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the birds of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the wild animals of the earth, and over every creeping thing." So God created humankind in the image of God, male and female. God created them. God blessed them and said to them, "Be fruitful and multiply, and fill the earth and subdue it. Have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the birds of the air, and over every living thing that moves upon the earth." These are the generations of the heavens and the earth when they were created. The second reading is a quotation from Thomas Berry's The Great Work. Now, Thomas Berry was a Catholic priest of the Passionate order, cultural historian and eco-theologian, although earth scholar was his preferred descriptor. He is famous for proposing that a deep understanding of the history and functioning of the universe is a necessary inspiration and guide for our own effective functioning as individuals and as a species. Now from this book, The Great Work. It's all a question of story. We are in trouble now as a species because we are in between stories. The old story, the account of how the world came to be and how we fit into it, sustained us for a long time. It shaped our emotional attitude, provided us with life purpose, energized action, consecrated suffering, integrated knowledge, guided education. We awoke in the morning and knew we were where we were. We could answer the questions of our children. We could identify crime, punish transgressors. Everything was taken care of because the story was there. But now it is no longer functioning properly, and we have not yet learned the new story. Hear what the Spirit is saying to the church.
Thanks be to God.